Hi, I'm Warren. Thanks for joining us at Toit Fishing. If you've got a few minutes spare, I'd love to tell you more about my split ring tool design and how much easier it makes tackling such a frustrating job. In this video, I'm going to talk about split rings, tool design, stainless steel, about this split ring tool design concept and why I think it's revolutionary and why this design will take the hassle out of changing hooks and split rings. There's nothing like opening up a beautiful pack of hooks or shiny split rings and getting out your trusted lure and begrudgingly start removing your old hooks and split rings. There has got to be an easier way. So this is the Toit Split Ring Tool. It's currently available in 3 sizes, small, medium and large, with the micro in development. So what's a split ring? It's a piece of wire that's been formed into a 3-dimensional helical shape. Commercially made on a CNC wire bender, and many are now drop forged also and heat treated with various coatings on and surface treatments. And as a fisherman, it's all about the gape. Can I open it enough? And does the split ring close after opening? So why choose a Toit split ring tool? Well, the industry standard for this tool is a 2-dimensional triangle of various shapes and sizes, with some areas and clearances ground on the front, but essentially it provides a single function movement. You depress the tool and it tries to open the split ring. So what makes our tool special? Well, it incorporates 3 3-dimensional cones on the upper jaw and a single 3-dimensional cone jaw like a Longnose Pliers on the lower jaw. So why 3-dimensional? Well, check this cool function out. You're going to love this bit. Our tool has 2 opening stages. Stage 1, depress the tool until the end of travel and that opens the split ring. Well, that's fairly normal. Well, this is where we all start digging our nails in and forcing the hook in, slipping about and hurting yourself as you struggle for additional opening size. So let me save you the trouble here. Check this cool function out. Now rotate the split ring clockwise and the tool anti-clockwise. The 3-dimensional helical shape of the split ring now rides within this ever-changing 3-dimensional triangulation of the double nose cone detail. So the further you rotate the split ring, the further it opens it up. In fact, what is happening is the tangential faces between the split ring and the cone shapes are continually changing as the rotation angle increases. And as you begin to engage the larger disc, the opening size is increased even more. How freaking awesome is that? So now you basically have a 9-axis tool. You have the front and rear cones back to back, and you have the lower jaw that is 3-axis also. So that gives fishermen so many combinations and sizes to work with, making each one of our tools literally a magnet for versatility. Stage 2 function is optional. Most of the time, using the correct size split ring tool, stage 1 opening will give you the gape needed for your task at hand. Split rings, and there are literally hundreds, and hooks, well, there's probably thousands of those, provide us anglers with a complete nightmare with all the different wire diameter combinations, and now with even flat forged wire combinations in the split rings. Let's just say there's a lot of combinations you need to cover to open and accommodate any hook and split ring combination. And don't forget about the varying gauge wire sizes on these different lures. So by giving you a 2-stage split ring movement, you now can get that extra bit of opening size if you need it, just in case you have a 4x hook or a thick wire diameter in your lure and you need a larger gape. It's all about the gape when it comes to split rings. Right, just give me a little license here to talk about split rings. Some split rings are made from various grade carbon steels. These will be galvanized, chrome plated, nickel plated. Many will end up rusting and corroding over time. Other split rings will be made from a martensitic stainless steel. That means it'll have a higher carbon content and increased toughness, and these split rings rely on a highly polished wire to resist corrosion in the form of rust, and others also rely on surface treatments like passivation. And some split rings will be made from an austenitic stainless steel, and these offer a very high resistance to corrosion, and having scratches will not matter with regards to any additional corrosion. So when you scratch or damage many split rings, you will have an area of some stainless steels or carbon steels that has now got free irons exposed in the scratch, and it'll rust. So why go on about this? Well, many split ring tools on the market have a sharp wedge-shaped edge or a Longnose Pliers jaw, or both, that you use to open the split ring. So when you take a normal split ring tool with sharp edges and jam it in the side of most split rings, you will end up damaging the coating and the surface of the metal, and you'll get rust. Well, if you take a look at our tools, they are 2 cones, so at no point during stage 1 or stage 2 movement do the tools have a gouging edge forcing its way into the split ring, or an opposing serrated jaw scratching the surface of the split ring. The design aims as much as possible to protect the split ring from getting scratched and damaged. This will give you more life out of your split rings, as it aims to engage the split ring with lenient surfaces rather than a straight sharp edge. So why choose a Toit split ring tool? Well, number 1, improved work holding and rigidity. This is where our tools stand out. Whether you're using it in stage 1 or stage 2, the split ring is held perpendicular to the pliers jaw and not slipping and sliding and snapping into a weird position where you cannot feed a wire, hook or swivel on. Rigidity, or how stiff the split ring is held, is vital, and our tools got this in bucket loads. Number 2, controlled movement during 2nd stage opening. Many entry-level split rings or cheap split rings suffer with overextension of the gape size. This is where you need controlled movement. So I know when I'm using an XYZ split ring, if I open it to 1st stage fully and I need just a little extra gape and twist it, say 30 degrees, it'll always close after opening. But if I twist it to full, it'll be left with a small gape. Controlled movement while remaining rigid is important. This has no effect on top quality split rings. Many return to shape after full 2nd stage rotation. This tool has the technology built in it to give the user the ability to better understand their split ring brand of choice. You can literally learn and understand the ductility of the metal of your brand of split ring. This is too much, but this amount is perfect, and it returns to shape and the split ring closes. Number 3, improved work rate. Once you've put your intended wire between the split ring, just slide the nose detail forward and engage the 2 round nose plier jaws, and simply swivel the split ring round and round. Effortless but efficient, and far less abrasion on the outer edges of the split ring. Also, removing split rings or hooks is so simple. Number 4, 2-stage opening. Not only does it work like an ordinary split ring tool, but when you run out of travel, you can start using the 2nd stage opening. Well, that'll give you that extra opening size you need for those really thick gauge wires. Number 5, if you're sick and tired of struggling to replace hooks or split rings on your favorite lures, then we've got your back covered with currently 3 different size split ring tools. All sizes overlap, and you'll have a tool that does what it says on the tin: open split rings. And number 6, improve corrosion resistance for some split rings. If you want to help prevent some split rings from rusting, you need a tool that won't damage the surface of the metal or the coating applied. Number 7, a round nose plier jaw at the back of the upper jaw and the lower jaw gives you a speedy way of turning those split rings without scuffing or marking them, and again preventing corrosion. Longnose plier jaw serrations really do damage the surface of a split ring. It's a recipe for rust, it really is. Right, number 8, stainless steel. I might do a video on the subject when I've got time, but just remember this. You want a stainless steel split ring that has both ductile and brittle properties. It's no good having a very ductile stainless steel that will never rust but straightens out like a bent teaspoon. At the same time, you want a stainless steel with enough carbon in it so it can be heat treated, both hardened and tempered. This will give it brittle properties and is more likely to return to shape. So this is the but. You can only heat treat certain types of stainless steel, and those are the ones with higher carbon contents and less chromium and nickel. So you may find some of your stainless steel split rings rusting, but believe you me, that does not mean they are junk. It means that the material has been selected to provide a low diameter wire with maximum strength, with some marine protection, and most importantly, a gape that always shuts after being opened. I hope that helps. And if you're finding split rings not returning to a closed shape, that's because they are too ductile. And my advice would be to find a new brand. A few manufacturers also opt for a forging process with their split rings, which ends up flattening it. This also improves the split ring returning to shape, especially on a more ductile stainless steel. Right, and number 9, don't forget when you finish replacing your hooks or split rings, give everything a good pull, including your terminal knot. These features are found on all our pliers. Keep your hands protected at all costs. Look, opening split rings is a pain in the butt. However, this design, I believe, has put an end to that age-old problem. It actually holds the split ring without wiggling about. And if you need to open it up a little bit more, well, that's easy. Just move it to the side. And the split ring is still held in place securely. Like I always say, you need the right tool for the job. And I believe these are the right tool. Tight lines, and thanks for your support. Life is simple when you can open any split ring you want. Also, watch the space for our micro split ring tool coming soon. Laters. Cheers, man. Oh, and just one last thing. We've got a lovely chart on our website that tells you exactly what size split ring to use with what size tool in the Toit range. So it's a good chart and it'll help you select, depending on your type of fishing, what size split ring tool we'd recommend for any given split ring. So check that out. Thank you again. Cheers, man.